Spartacus is the true tale of an escapee gladiator slave who waged an implausible yet extraordinary rebellion against the Roman Republic. His story is one of anarchy, freedom fighting, and tragedy, leading many historians to acknowledge his title as the most famous gladiator in history. Spartacus's story begins with his birth in Thrace, a region in southeastern Europe which is modern-day Bulgaria, Greece, and Turkey. Though little is known about Spartacus's early life, historians believe he may once have served in the Roman army. He was thought to have deserted the army or been involved with a rebellion against it. He was eventually captured by those same Romans and sold into slavery. Spartacus was sent to a gladiatorial training school, known as a ludus, located in Capua, near Rome, in 73 BC. Here, he underwent rigorous training with the intention for him to become a gladiator and to fight and die in the Roman Colosseum. Gladiatorial training was split into a number of different lessons, the most interesting of which may have been Lesson 1, learning how to die. Gladiator training did not just involve physical combat. Trained gladiators were also expected to demonstrate certain mannerisms, including at their time of death. Roman spectators expected gladiators to die bravely and with no fear, hence training was put in place on how one should die with honor. Training then went on to a series of fitness, combat, and technique tests. Even amidst the brutality of these training tests, Spartacus shined, gaining a reputation for his exceptional skill and combat prowess. He was also described as a competent and humane individual, traits which may well have primed him for the events to follow. Soon after arriving in the ludus, Spartacus had other plans for himself rather than fighting and dying in the Colosseum. Along with about 70 other gladiators, he used improvised weapons to overpower the guards and make a daring escape. Successful in their getaway, the group resided on nearby Mount Vesuvius and expanded as more escaped slaves joined their ranks. Together they used guerrilla tactics to fight off Roman attacks, which are essentially hit-and-run war strategies to avoid fighting larger opposition fleets head-on. Guerrilla warfare is a tactic that has been used throughout history, helping to demonstrate the proficient and tactical nature of the newly integrated rebel group. Included within this rebel group was a diverse range of followers, including slaves, free people, and even some Roman citizens disillusioned with the Republic. As the escapees' battle successes compounded, the size of the rebellion group rose, and it is estimated that they grew to around 100,000 men in all, of which Spartacus emerged as the leader. Spartacus's charisma, military acumen, and ability to unite such a varied coalition of people allowed him to create such a formidable army of tens of thousands to lead against the Roman Republic. After about a year, Spartacus mobilized a full army and started traveling through Roman territory. After defeating 2 Roman forces in quick succession, the rebels overran most of southern Italy. The pursuit then continued, with the rebels fighting their way towards the Alps. Several Roman legion defeats later led to more serious concerns being raised in Rome about the scope of the rebellion and how to bring about its end. Spartacus's aim was to try and disperse his soldiers to their homelands once they were outside Italy. However, his soldiers refused to leave Italy, which ultimately led to their demise. After they refused Spartacus's request to leave Italy, Spartacus sought to cross his forces over to Sicily. However, he was thwarted by a combined Roman opposition. A final battle called the Gladiatorial War took place in 71 BCE at Lucania, about 56 kilometers southeast of Naples. It was here where Spartacus met his end, losing the battle to the Roman commander Marcus Licinius Crassus, who led a huge army of 8 Roman legions, a combined opposition that was simply too much for the rebel forces to handle. Marcus Licinius Crassus was a newly introduced Roman commander at the time, who went on to play a vital role in the transformation of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. He commanded up until 53 BCE, where he lost the Battle of Carrhae against the Parthians and, according to Roman tradition, met a tragic end, having liquid gold poured into his throat and then being beheaded. Spartacus's body was never recovered from the gladiatorial war, hence there has been some stipulation as to what exactly may have happened to the rebellion leader. However, most historians are in agreement that Spartacus most probably died in combat. Around 6,000 of Spartacus's rebel associates survived and fled the battle, although these individuals were later captured and crucified by the Roman army as a brutal warning to others who might rebel against Rome. Fearing further slave revolts, the Roman forces also implemented stricter, more violent measures to control the slave population. While Spartacus met a bloody end, his story has inspired numerous works of literature, film, and television, including the famous 1960 film Spartacus starring Kirk Douglas. Although his uprising was not an attempt at social revolution, his name has also become synonymous with resistance against oppression and the fight for freedom.